the UK government. Our parliamentary correspondent Ione Wells has been following the debate.
It is clear that this bill is a weak attempt at ripping up the devolution settlement.
When did the vision of devolution ever become about stopping this place having any kind of writ of authority in Wales?
MPs have spent the last week in Parliament debating this new draft law that would give UK ministers the power to spend in areas that are otherwise devolved. Things like economic development, infrastructure, culture and sport. The Conservative government say these new powers will allow them to replace EU funding programmes and level up the whole of the UK. But they've been accused of undermining devolution, and opposition MPs are sceptical about whether or not they will use these powers to invest in projects based on the greatest need in Wales rather than ones in the party's interest.
It would allow the UK government to decide if they wanted to spend money on something, and then of course what they'd turn around and do would say, well, we've done that bit of spending, so we're going to take that out of the budget. So what would be left for us to choose how to spend in Wales would be considerably less. Now that just seems to me, in the same way as they're ripping up international law, they're ripping up agreements, laws which they themselves have been part of passing in the UK Parliament. Well, that's just chaos.
If Labour were in power here in Westminster, are these powers that you would want to have as a Labour government?
What we'd be talking about is respecting the devolution settlement, discussing with Welsh Government what would be the best way forward on the post-EU funding, how that would be best managed, so that we come together to an agreement as to how to work it.
We asked the Secretary of State for Wales what guarantees he could give that these new powers would be used to invest in areas of greatest need.
What we shouldn't be doing is just saying that we know best and we're going to just put investment or create opportunities in areas where we think we need to be guided by local opinion on that. We want to be more precise about targeting areas of the greatest need, and that's very much a part of what we're trying to do here, and I don't think there should be any danger around that.
So what's next for the bill? Well, it's got to get through further votes in the House of Commons over here, votes that the government is likely to win due to its large majority there. But then it's also got to get through the House of Lords behind me. There it's likely to face fierce opposition due to the fact that it would give ministers the power to break international law by overriding a key part of the UK's Brexit agreement with the EU. The Prime Minister has agreed to change the bill to give MPs a vote before he could use these powers, but as it stands, the spending powers aspect of the bill remains unchanged. So how these powers are used in Wales in future is a conversation that isn't going away anytime soon.